Okay, so today we're going to continue to follow up on the training, some of the new things that are happening, and then we're going to go over the Easy Cash tool at the end. It's a free tool. It's awesome. Helps us really drill down. And so Henrik is going to kind of go over some of the new things that are happening, and we'll move on from there. At the end, we'll take questions. And obviously, if you're asking questions in reference to what he's talking about, I will interrupt, as I always do. So let's get the show rolling. And Henrik, it is up to you.
There's a new version out, which everybody has got, which is 4.5. And in that version, there was a new little feature in the actual poster in itself. So let's go and take a look at that. And that's when you look at the post by account, go to post by accounts. What happens is that I'm seeing only, there they come. When you hover over a post or a location link, you can right click, and then if the location, the GMB, is using the business website in the info tab as a website, then you will be able to open the link in the iframe tool and I actually create an iframe with links or with the poster included in it. In principle, if Ocean's Lending was using the business website, I could right click, I could take the post link and get an iframe created, which I then could embed into my stacks, into my site, wherever I want to, into my IFTT network, etc., where you can stuff it into. And that's the basic little feature that's there.
Saves you from having to copy it, go to the iframe, open up the iframe. That's a nice little, time saver. Don't you guys agree?
I think especially Matt will be happy for that because he's grabbing those posts and put them into his press releases. So that's a good little one. But that's the only thing that we have updated in this version here. Let me go to, or have updated in the Mega Poster, but you'll see there's a little thing here which is called the URL checker. So if I go back to my poster and go in and go to Google Maps, generate a map, it should give me a shortened URL for the map here. So I'll take that. I'll go to the tool, URL checker. I'll drop it in here and I'll go and check it. And you can see down here, it's a 302. But you can paste in any short links that you have and check them here. And then you have some filters. You can hide the 301 so you can see those that is not 301, or you can hide the 302s or hide the 200s or hide others. So we have a lot of filters here for your check. And that came about because of our little URL shortener where we have the discussion whether the URLs was 302 or 301s.
Okay, can you explain what a 301 or a 302 is?
On a server, you can redirect links to a page on your website, and normally you will have two types of redirects. Either you have a temporary, which is 302, which will temporarily point to another URL on your site or somewhere else, you could say. Or you could do it permanently, which is a 301. And the difference between the 301 and 302 is that 301 passes the linked use, which the 302 doesn't. So when a bot comes into a website and look through and see here's some 302s, it don't know whether it should pass on the linked use to the temporary place that it's pointing to or to the original one. So that's why you will look for 301s, because that will pass on the link juice, and that's what you're after.
Except for this, passing on the link juice of what?
When we are creating links in RFR, for example, we create the links because we believe that the links created within a Google property will pass links on to our target URLs. Otherwise, it'll be a waste of time what we're doing. So if you have a link which you have shortened, for instance, by the Google shortener, they have become a 302, which in theory means that the link use is not passed on to the destination.
So it's dead air. It's worthless.
You tell Google you're pointing to the one, but you don't pass on the juice. And that was why we were looking to create our own, which is the M566. That is a 301 redirect. In the beginning, there was a problem because it was misconfigured on the server, so it pointed, it was 302s.
And just for those that don't know, the other reason originally why we were using the Google shortener, not only did it do a 301, but that domain itself was a high PADA, page authority, domain authority link. So not only did you pass the juice from the sites that you were shortening, but you also got the benefit of that URL being an authority URL passing the juice, correct? No, so that's why when we changed from the Firebase, which is a 302, that's when I went out and, really searched for using authority checker and expired domains, and searched for a very short URL that had in itself high domain and high page authority. So not only would we be able to pass the 301 juice from our links that we're building, within Google properties, but give it that extra boost to have that higher domain shortener. And I think we're at 60 something, 40 something, is in terms of DAPA, for this link. And the more that we use it, the more powerful that PADA will become, just like Bitly's and tiny URLs and everything else. They're up in the 80s and 90s. So I encourage everybody, for any URL shortener that you want to use, go ahead and use this one, for your websites, for your YouTube videos, for your Google Doc, whatever you want. It doesn't necessarily just have to be used within here. Does that make sense to everybody?
Just running a check on our little. So 63, 31, 63, Patrick.
So what Heinrich is doing right there is he's using the authority checker. How many of you guys in here have authority checker 1, and how many of you are using it all the time, or at least part of the time? I know Keith uses it about 80 times a day. Yep, mostly 1s. Never heard of it? Well, we'll have to do another webinar on it. Patrick, would it be possible to be able to add the keyword in the shortener? Chris has already done that.
The keyword is up here. So when you create a shortener, when it's go to the website, the domain, that keyword will be associated with the link in itself. Understandable? So you pass on mortgage broker and then the link.
I think what he's asking is is it visibly seen in the link? And you don't visibly see it, do you?
No. As long as Google sees it, then we're satisfied.
But I think that was the question.
Okay.
Do shorties get indexed as the short URL? Don't know. I guess they could, like anything else. I've never checked to see if they get indexed, Richard. Have you, Heinrich, ever checked?
No, I don't care. What I care about is the destination, if that get indexed or not. That's my whole purpose.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to answer the question because I'm not sure, but I would not think that they're getting indexed, but it's possible. We could do a check and see. Can Shorty's destination be changed later? That's a great question.
No, not at the moment. You're referring to plugins like the Pretty Links and that type of, where you have an interface where you can log into. At the moment, you have no control over the back end of it. But if you create your own, then you have every possibility to go in and change the destination URL.
Like Leon says, he does his shorties and he sends them to the indexer anyway. So
yeah,
it's not a bad idea to do that. It's a great idea, that Leon shared there. But our main goal is that the shorties carry the juice, and Google reads the shorties that carry the juice back to the place that they want to carry the juice to, which is our original site. If you pass the shorties in a document, the document could be indexed, i.e. Google document or Google Sheets. Exactly right, Keith.
Yeah.
And you take this URL and create multiple shorties for the same URL. You can create multiple shorties.
I have a shorty here, so I'll clear this up on here. I'll go down there. So the question is, can I create many shorties for this? So I go up here and create 4. I don't double stack it. I just say run. And here you go. 4 shorties for this one URL, shorty URL. And if you hit this one up here.
Yeah, what's the double stack?
Then you have the shorty, link it to a shorty, link it to a shorty, which ends up in the original one.
Everybody get the double stack? As Leon says, double stack it. Double stack it. Why create one? Double stack it. Triple stack it.
But please notice that we have turned off the 200, which was the normal fix for a double stack. When you hit the check mark here, it says 200. And I think it was thus that his computer took a couple of days, but you learned by mistake.
Everybody cool with this new feature? Because I put this out in quite a few places, for the purpose of people who are here, we every week have training on the software that you're seeing at the top called it's the GMB Ranking Factory, which is a paid service. However, today, after we get done doing our basic training, we're going to be going over a free tool and how to use a free tool for GMB intelligence. But the first part of this, Richard, is for us to share ideas that you can take what we're sharing with you for the shorties, go find your own shorty, do this all longhand. These are tools that we've built within our software that does it all very simply and very easily for you, called the GMB GMBfactory.com. So just to give you a heads up on that, in about 10-15 minutes, we'll be going through the free software and showing you how to use it. Right now, we're just utilizing, showing how we're using our tool and all the features of our tool that have been updated. Is that okay? Are you clear on that? Yes, you can. It's called GMBfactory.com. All right, cool. Where do you get the checker? The authority checker? Just go to the rankingstore.com and authority checker's on there. The rankingstore.com, and then find the authority checker.
Okay, then there has been some questions in regard to the scheduler. So when you're scheduling and you're having a silo, then you could actually break the silo if the post doesn't fire. So the best thing, what you should do is to create your first post, add the buttons that you want, make the URLs, and create a silo name for it, and then go up and post now. So the first post in a silo, if that goes up, then it stores the post URL immediately in the local database, which is supporting the system. If you schedule it, the first post, then the URL won't be created until you have posted. And we have seen there's been a few issues with the scheduler breaking down, and then you're breaking your silo. So now I can go in, create a new one, take the silo name, and you see it's have taken the last link URL immediately. So now I can go and then schedule a post, put it at some time in the future, tomorrow, 8 p.m., add post, and bingo, off it goes. And you can always check in the lower right corner when the green bar is moving, then it's working. And you have to realize sometimes when the software is working, it has to communicate with the API, and depending on the response time from Google, then it might take a few seconds for you to receive the answer back, and that's well, seems like the software is hanging a little bit, but it's actually communicating or normally communicating with the software. Well, sorry, with the APIs. That's basically on the schedule thing. Hopefully that's clear.
Let's make sure there's no questions. Everybody clear on that? How easy it is to set up and silo your posts to get that siloing power on those posts. Everybody good? Everybody says brilliant.
A little note on siloing and the posts is the following. I'll show you.
Your computer must be on for posting to take place at the scheduled time of the post.
That's why most or many people are actually having the GMB post on a VPS because that's always on. I'm just showing you an insight for a brand new GMB being put up. And what I've been looking at is the queries used to find your business. So Google is telling me what it's associated with this business website mastery. So it's relating it to digital marketing agency, digital marketing near me. Look at that one, near me here again. They relate it actually to this one, which is an internet marketing agency. So these two go hand in hand. So if you can have a category called digital marketing agency, and you are some kind of a digital marketing or internet marketing agency, those two categories should be in your GMB categories. But what I discovered that I started a series of siloed posts, and I was in sequence 6 or 7. I actually started noticing that the association of the keywords that Google was doing was actually quite similar to what I have scheduled in my silo post. So what I'm trying to say is that if you silo your post, you word them properly, so write them properly with keywords that you want to rank for, then Google will pick it up very fast. So the basic method is take your keywords, silo your post, and get it done. And then you will see a huge jump in the keywords that Google is associating your GMB with.
And that's for traffic, not rank.
That's for traffic. That's the only thing we are concerned about, isn't it?
But just to clarify, so what you're seeing is that if you're wanting to be found for certain other keywords, and that you continue to use your posts as, your weapon, and you put your keywords, and I'm going to make an assumption here because I've seen it happen already, that not only do you put your keywords, but if you want to do GMB creep, CREEP, which is, creeping out from your destination point into other areas, you start adding those, cities or zip codes or other places that you want to be, which can correlate to your driving directions, right? But if you start to put those in your post and siloing your post, then you're going to start to see Google serving up that keyword to people that are looking for it and showing your site, even though you're not in the 3-pack, or that keyword is not in any 3-pack. Is that what you're trying to tell us?
But as soon as you start posting them in a silo, and Google associates with them, then you will move up in your ranking, and i.e. in the 3-pack.
So eventually you'll get in the 3-pack, but it doesn't immediately put you there, or it does.
No, depending on the competition.
Right. Okay. But the point is you're still getting traffic from that process, even though they're not necessarily seeing you in the 3-pack.
What could happen is when you're on a mobile, and if Google decides you deserve to have the knowledge panel shown in the mobile rather than the 3-pack, if there is a 3-pack, then you will occupy the whole real estate in that bloody phone. And that's where people click the call now button or go to your website. So if you can get the call from there, super. And most people with a mobile nowadays, they don't bother going to a website. They'll rather call right away and ask for something. And that's what you're after.
Right.
then you're getting your lead.
And Tony makes a good point too, which is not relevant to what we're doing at the moment. However, spoiler alert, Tony says, and if you get people to leave the district names in reviews or the area names, then that really helps as well. In a very short period of time, we're gonna be presenting everybody with a new review tool that's gonna actually do that.
But generally speaking, Patrick, that when you have ask some people or your customers for a review, if you can incorporate any keywords, locations in it, then Google will pick it up, and they can use hashtags in the reviews as well. So,
as an example, Gary Simmons here in Baltimore, he says, I had it happen. I did 5 neighborhood inside Baltimore and now rank for Baltimore in the 3-pack for 5 searches on mortgages. When you use keywords in posts, how do you anchor link the text in a post?
No, you can't anchor text it in a post, and you just have to have a well-written post where you have the upper part of the post, which will be shown in the knowledge panel. So just make sure that you have something which will trigger call to action there, so that people will actually click on the damn post. And the more clicks you have, the more Google loves you. Just having, for instance, I made a post starting, you have searched for Melbourne mortgage broker near me. Don't look any further, blah, 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 blah. And that picked up on the insights immediately. Then on the topic of posts, we have put in the RSS ideas generator in it. And I was stumbling upon, I think it's called something called RSS Ground, where you can create your own feeds. It has a lot of feeders. You have a feeds inbox. The feeds inbox will give you the possibility to search for feeds, collect the feeds that you want. With the selected feeds, you can actually add it to a feed reader and grab that URL, and that URL you will stuff into the thing up here. If I want to take these feeds, I can add it to the feed reader, but I can also, can you see that one little down right there? Add it to a content widget, which you can stuff into your G site or your website or whatever, and just have feeds rolling in. And you can actually post it to a posting campaign. So yeah, you can post to a G+, Facebook or whatever directly from here.
Carolyn's kind of asking us, why would we do this? What is the real purpose of trying to find and doing what you just did?
The first thing is for the poster in itself to get ideas to post onto your GMB, because you will notice that at a certain point you will start lacking good quality content. At least if you're doing it for a client. And if you're doing it for a client, if you do try to extract feed from the industry news, then you have a little bit of let's say news that you could feed into the GMB. I think that most of you who are dealing with clients will know that it's difficult to get photos out of the clients. It's difficult to get what news popping up in their business, which could be a good post, and let's say content in general. So you have to come up with it. And that's one of the things that you'll spend most time on. And that's why if you can find quality sources, then use that and curate that. And again, for your stacking in those who are in the RFR, you could actually take an iframe widget with content and stack that, or put that into your stack, and then your stack will be updating all the time, and then you get much more power into it. Just a little trick, a tip, okay?
Yeah, that's a great one.
What else? Competition. Last time we showed you the local Falcon, and this time I'm into a free tool called clippercom. And what it does, it actually do the same thing as local Falcon is doing, and it has also a few other free tools that you can use.
Go here, guys, and use this because I'm canceling my $39 subscription to local Falcon.
And what you should notice that you have the Google My Business category helper, which is a great tool, and you have you can create review links in here as well. But the one that you're gonna look for is this one, local rank tracker. And it comes up like this. And then you go and put in a business, plumber or something. We're searching for a plumber or emergency plumber or whatever. We take 1,000 meters and we take a grid of 5.5 just to.
So let's explain for people who don't know what we're doing here. We're picking a business, your business,
Yeah.
your customer's business. We're putting in the main keyword that customer wants to be found for, and then we're looking for a distance. There's 5 points on the map, 5 on the left, 5 on the right, 5 on top, and 5 on the bottom, and the distance between each of those points is 1,000 meters. So those are the variables up here that you can check to see, the farther distance you have, the farther out it's going to search, right? And you can go all the way up to 4,500 meters. And how many pins? 19, or is 5 the most?
9 times 9.
9 times 9. So that's 9,000 meters between pins. Does that make sense to everybody? You got that? US only or global?
No, it's global, isn't it?
This is global? Cool. Well, there you go. Is anybody seeing the potential possibility for you to make 100 grand this year just off of this little tool? This is free right now, Richard. It's a free tool. This particular plumber, this guy's not ranking anywhere. If you take a picture of this map and you take a picture of the 3-pack and you send it to him in an email and you say, no wonder you're not getting any customers. We can increase your calls and your customers within 60 days. Now you know exactly what to do, how to do it, where to do it. And one of the really cool things, and Henrik, you may know this because I haven't tested this. Do they give you the CSV file?
Yeah, I think you can export the results out as a CSV.
So guys, what that means with the export is that under the export, the geo latitude and longitude of every single one of those pins, okay? And so now with that information, you can begin to geo-target your post, your press release. I mean, you can just geo-target everything with them. And it gives you a good target for that, right? So this is a wonderful free tool. Now, they do have a pro version of this. And I will tell you right now that we are talking to this company to see what we can do for us on a massive API scale, something that we're talking to them about. We're not sure if it's available, but we're working with them because there's a lot of good tools within here, and we want to be able to do that for you guys, okay? But go there, play with it, use the tool. Henrik is scanning about 10 miles from the current location, correct? But the current location, I mean, this guy's not ranking anywhere.
If you look just around him, he's nowhere.
Try this one. Let's do another one just to show a difference in what it would look like. In the search bar for the business, type in Pete Cycle.
How to spell the last cycle? Like cycle?
CYCLE. It's in Maryland. Where you got? Do the first one. Bel Air Road, Maryland. There you go.
Okay.
Type in that one. Okay. Now under keywords, just type in used motorcycles. Just do 3 pins. I mean, it doesn't matter. Everybody gets the idea. So we'll see if this is working correctly. Because you saw what the opportunity was with the last one. And then when you see, this one, if it's working correctly, isn't there another tool out there that does this? Clint, yes, called Local Falcon. It's $39 a month. It is slower, but it could just be because of he didn't clear it or whatever. But, it's coming.
Yeah.
But, when you can take somebody from what we just saw with all red, and with all the data, it'll do any business for any location that's in the GMB. It just pulls them all up. So you can see here that this is all green. Now, if we were to do this and go out 10 miles, which I don't want to do, we now have him in all green. This is one of our clients, right? He's all green for 10 miles out, all ones. twos, threes, 1, 2, 3. He's in the 3-pack for like 10 miles. So we've been able, now that I know Clint's here, I'm going to probably change the way I'm going to structure this. We have been able to transfer some of his SEO budget, just some, because he now sees the power of the pin, and he is now transferring some of that budget to other areas for us to work on getting him these types of results in other areas. Not telling him that he shouldn't do SEO, because we're doing SEO as well. But, this going into this client and customer and showing him this got us another $1,500 a month. So it works. It's a great prospecting tool. Take a picture of their position, whether they're 1, 2, 3s or 20s like the last guy, and it's a great door opener.
Basically, what you could do if you want to extend the reach is actually starting doing posts around this area, regarding this area, and then put driving directions from this area to the location into your post. So that's a way to start expanding the area from where your GMB location is located. So it's a quite cool tool. Unfortunately, I don't see any possibility to export it to.
Henrik, this is a good question. Does this work for SAB when the address is hidden? I mean, if
we can try. I have one with address hit.
It should.
I don't think. Let's do a double test here.
Okay, according to the FAQ, Carolyn says no. It says not suitable for service area businesses.
And it's also only US.
That answers that. This is the first time that I've seen it. I'm used to dealing with the local Falcon one, but since this one is free, this is fine.
Yeah. I think we can't take a UK business in here. So it's only a US tool where your local Falcon, which you pay for, is handling all Google locations.
Sam says it looks like Plepper has free trial and not totally free.
Let's look at the plans and prices. For single owner, that's for listing to monitor. This means that you constantly is monitoring your business, but I think you can go in and do as many queries as you want. So I think it's only for the monetization part of it you need to pay. Otherwise, it's free. So sign up for a free account and then go in and use it as much as you can. So what it does, it says it monitors your reviews and Q&A on a daily basis, which means that you hook up your GMB listing to the system here, and then it will go out and check. The business category helper is a good tool to use when you are setting up a GMB, so that you have the right category placed. Your GMB in the right category. You'll see how many that are in various different categories in the tool I'm showing you in a little while. And the last thing we were going to introduce to you is other tool. And this tool is a tool that enables you to search for local results and get some information out. So what you will do is you will take and find some zip codes here. Just a second.
Let me ask, how many of us here already use this software tool called Easy Local Cache? How many of us use this now and how many don't? So we're about 50-50 here. This is a pretty valuable little tool for us, as many of you know, and are using it today. But I see over half of the people don't have a clue what we're talking about, so that's cool.
So what the tool does is you put in your keywords, you put in a latitude and longitude, and then you research the competition, which means the GMBs with surrounding that latitude and longitude for those keywords that you're putting in. Let's try to just take an example here. So I will take, here's a lot of zip codes in Orlando. And if you're doing some research, you might search for some zip codes that you want to check. And I'll show you a little other program. This is this one. This is an Excel sheet. So what I will do is taking some zip codes from this area here, copy those.
Now, one of the things Bryant, who uses this, is also saying, do not use the zips that are for a post office box, in case you know that the address is a post office box. Don't do that.
You have to clean them first, which means that you have to take the postcodes also with a certain population in it, so you make sure that you're not only 2 people living in that postcode. So what I do, I paste in the zip codes here. I go up and you geocode all rows, and the Excel spreadsheet will work a little bit, and then it will start pumping in the latitude and longitude for all these locations.
So you didn't have to do anything but actually put the zip codes in that box.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Bingo. Did you see that? Created all the latitude and longitudes for, and actually give you a Google Map links at the same time in it.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just take an example here. We take, let's take the first one. Copy that. Go in here. Take the longitude. Copy that.
Oh, this is the spreadsheet you created.
Yeah.
And it's on sale today for how much?
Something between 350 and 400,000.
Okay. So we'll take the last 3 digits of those numbers and we'll make it available to everybody.
Yeah.
Is that fair? Okay. It's still free.
It's required that you create a Bing Map API key.
Okay, well, that's easy.
Yeah. So, which niche, what keyword should we go after?
Let's see. Let's ask. I'm going to pick the 5th keyword that somebody puts in here. Give me keywords, and don't everybody wait to be number 5. 1, 2, 3. Hair salon.
There's no hair salons there.
Oh, I can't be. Okay, then try pest control.
Yeah.
Try mortgage. Oh, so you have to do. Well, it's cool when it works.
Yeah.
Keyword already processed.
Just closing and opening again.
Maybe you don't take quite so many zip codes or whatever. Oh, okay. You're just. Okay, I see what you're doing.
That's time.
If it says completed, shouldn't it be opening up the spreadsheet?
Yeah, but it doesn't find anything. Maybe it's because the It doesn't run.
Worked the other day beautifully. Okay, let me see what everybody's saying here. Also has a space at the end of the longitude. Don't know if that's messing with it.
Maybe.
Is the comma from his Excel formatting?
Yeah, that's
It's
the
the
one. It
comma.
has to be a point. Yeah, sorry. That's correct.
Now let's see hair salon. Let it finish this first, Marcus.
Yeah.
You
Let's take
want
a
a
look.
free copy? Yeah, whoever found that mistake gets a free copy. You win. Says these are not geos for the Atlantic Ocean. So basically, now we know it's taking some time. You can see down there, it's going to give us some results, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
What it does, it goes out and query and get a lot of information like the business name, the address, whether there's been any post, whether it's verified, whether there's any pictures on it, whether there's any website attached to it.
Vincent says it takes about 7 minutes on average.
That's presumably if you have several keywords in one go, I think. We have 40%. But let me go back to this little tool once it's over it. It's a spreadsheet, and you can, in location, put in an address or zip code. You can put in a name here, and then if you put in the full name and location of the GMB, it will look that up. So it's a quite cool little spreadsheet.
Can you transfer all of this then over to a regular Google Sheets?
You can do that, yeah.
Okay. So then if you have all this information, latitude, longitude, the zip code, the name, the description, the Google Map link, and then you take that information, which is related territories, and put that into a Google Sheet, and then take your Google Sheets with your keywords, and then, take your Google Sheets with your keywords and anchor text it, now you have the map location with the Google Sheets with the two anchor texts. Does everybody see how powerful that might be? And did anybody just understand what I said? That's right. That's for Ranking Factory, right? So if you're using the GMB and Ranking Factory, this is very, very cool tool. And if you're using, the GMB Mega Poster, this is even cooler, right? Just a location. Yes, correct. It's not a GMB, it's a location. But what it does is, because of all of the surrounding zip codes and everything else, that it's giving you your neighborhood environment that you want to play in. So it's giving you the possibility, like, Heinrich was sharing before, on Insights, that you're going to start maybe getting some of your keywords from some of these other areas that you want to creep into. Does that make sense? The more you do it, the more possibility is that you will rank in the 3-pack for some of those keywords in some of those areas as well.
So if we take a look at the information that you get the business name.
For those of you who haven't seen it, this is the cool part.
So you get the business name for the GMB, you get the phone number, you get the address, you get the number of citations, the number of Google reviews, whether they have keywords in the reviews, hint, keyword in the business name, whether they have uploaded any images. Let's see, they just the first one, FBC Mortgage, has 8, but the other ones had none. whether they have stars in the result page and the average of those, whether they're owner verified, the categories which are located in. So this is mortgage. This is what I call mortgage institution. This is the finance point of interest was one. The URL to the website citations, title tag, domain authority. Doesn't show it have any pages index, which I think is wrong. So they have external links, equity coming in. You see this is the big guys, Bank of America and those guys, difficult to tamper with, and all links in total.
So Richard is asking, is this kind of like hijacking someone's business location? No, we're not going to hijack it. However, you could use it for that, ding, ding, ding. But this is just giving us intel on what we would need to do for our client in this particular case to get them to beat those that are already there. Do we do more Google reviews? Do we have more keywords posted in our reviews? How many images do we have versus how many images do they have? See what I'm saying? How many stars? So this is giving us a snapshot of the competition. Optimization checklist is what Micah says. Exactly.
Let's try to go and do the hair salon here.
Yeah, like Mike is saying, it's a step-by-step process of knowing, what we need to do more than what the other people are doing, so that we can possibly, get and outrank them, not only on the page, and you're not going to outrank Bank of America more than likely on the page, no matter what you do, but more importantly, in the 3-pack. That's really what we're trying to concentrate on here by doing this way, right?
You could say it's a little bit like pop, where you go and analyze college product, where you go and analyze a page and see what do you need to do in comparison with the competitors' pages. So here you have to see, okay, I will have to do more images. I will have to maybe get more reviews. If they are not verified, you will have definitely competitive advantage if you get your GMB verified. You might see that in certain areas that the GMB shown is not actually in that same town, or it's a nearby town for certain areas. So it's coming up.
So here's a couple comments here that I think are really good for us to take a look at. So Richard says, I'm trying to understand this as me, the business owner for my business. Well, if you are the business owner and you're looking up this information and your business is not in here in these results, Richard, then the intelligence that you're getting here will help you understand what you need to do to outrank, any, the 1, 2, or 3, or the 4. These are the positions not in the 3-pack, but in the
10 first positions in the maps.
So the first 3 are the ones you want to concentrate on, because those are the ones you need to beat. But you have to beat everybody underneath them to get up into the 3-pack. So that's the intelligence. All this data right here tells you step by step, like Micah said, what you need to do. Okay. And then you can go to these places physically and look at them and then see how they're structured and, what all you have to do to beat them. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Another outfit, I'm suggesting, Brian, that you mean Semantic Mastery, coaches to use this tool to identify the best local zip codes to target initially in a city, looking for a keyword that has multiple non-verified site rankings. That's very correct. And FYI, Semantic Mastery has a lot of great training programs, and we like them very well. Marco and Bradley, we are not in competition with each other. I'm working on some discounts for us to be able to affiliate with them. So, they're good. I just like to make sure that when we discuss things that we give them credit for what they have found, and it's not something that I have found, but that's extremely correct. Point out that you can download your results in the overview. Did you get that, Henrik?
Yeah, I'm downloading at the moment.
Also, for a keyword, multiple GMBs that do not have images and photos. Exactly. Images and photos, as we know, are great. And when you look at the data right there, you can see they're all 10 plus. If you go back to the mortgages, the one that we did before, most of them had 0. So it gives you that intelligence to know what you need to do. Like Brian said, look at each of these individually, and it is your roadmap. Same as what Micah was telling us before.
You will find sometimes that even some businesses have been placed in the wrong category, or they might not have a website associated with the GMBs, which is a good find, because then you can actually just easily outrank them.
And look for the city you are searching in if the GMBs are not specifically in that city. Okay.
That's under the address.
Right.
So if you are out in a smaller town, smaller area, you might notice that some of these GMBs might be not in.
Well, look, you got Orlando, Winter Park, so
yeah,
you've got that situation where they're not actually in that your search city, right?
But if you go up to your area, if you take a small town like Bel Air, then there might be from the other cities around that town or that city will be listed, and then that it'll be an easy steal to go after a 3-pack listing in that particular city.
Uh-huh. So one of the other things that we talked about before, what about GMBs that are withholding their address? Will they be listed here somehow?
I'm not sure. We've
not run across it, but I'm sure that they could be. And the only reason I say that is because I don't have my address listed, and I'm still showing up in the 3-pack. So I would imagine that the possibility exists, but I don't know for sure.
You will show up in the 3-pack, but you will not have your business address disclosed.
Correct.
So the question is if they will find it here. So
we don't know.
What are we searching for in your area?
Me? SEO marketing agency, I think it is. I just started this the other day, so I'm not sure. Aberdeen, Maryland, yeah. And 3 days ago, I wasn't there. I just built this site, but you can see what 5 Google reviews have done in 3 days.
Anyway, we don't get the latitude longitude, but we will check that out.
Because it doesn't. I don't have the address, so I can't give it to you. So.
Oh no. So no problem. But we can make a check and see where it works. Or you can do it when you get the tool. But that's basically what we have for you today. Any further questions?
I want to expand 5 miles away into another zip code. How will this help me?
You could take the other tool that we showed you.
Clipper.
Tool.
What's the name of your address if you want us to check it? We will. In the Clipper tool. Yeah, Brian's making a comment here. The more hyper local, you focus your GMB, the more likely you are to beat the top 3. That's a great example.
So whilst it's running, what you basically do is you're starting focusing on other areas which you can associate with. So if there is, for instance, I don't know, but Butchertown, Clifton, you have Phoenix Hill, you start to make posts about, for instance, if you're a mortgage broker, that are you looking for mortgage services in Eastern Market District, blah, 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 blah. And then you have driving direction from some point there back to your GMB.
This is a great potential customer right here. Who is it? I'm going after him.
No, I won't disclose it.
Oh, damn it. I could just look up Butchertown.
Plumber Supply Company and Showroom.
Louisville?
In Kentucky.
Man, I love this as a marketing tool, don't you guys? I just think this is cooler than whatever. Takes all the guesswork out of how to reach and connect with people.
So here you will start maybe focusing on the force in that direction first, and then see whether you can expand in. Or this will just require a simple posting, then you'll get up. But here, location orientation out here, and that will put these up into the 3-pack as well, i.e. you'll extend your reach.
Mm-hmm. Does that help, Richard? Does that give you a better focus on what you can do with just, understanding where you are and where you want to be, and start to really focus on your reviews and the people that are reviewing you and your posts and everything else, and adding these other areas in your posts? So like if it's a mortgage company and I'm number one, right, I would have somebody write a post, that says, hey, I live in the Phoenix Place apartment homes down here to the left, and I wanted to buy a new home, and I called ABC Mortgage Company, and they were able to help me find a home located by JBS Swifting Company, or whatever that name of that town is right there, which I can't see it. But you see how we're making associations in different places that relate to your business. Does that make sense? I have news. What news, Richard? Tell me your news. How can I silo old? Oh, this is a good one. How can I silo old GMB posts? Can you pull up an old post and silo an old post?
You can repost them and then
repost it and silo. And if it's old and you repost it, it's okay. You're just reposting old stuff that's showing up new and siloing it. But as you know, after 7 days, it will disappear from the eyeballs, but it's still there. So just repost it and then within that repost silo it.
You should give it maybe a
little twist. Yeah. That's why we have the spin board in there, so that you can spin it up a little bit and make it a little unique, right? Well, I'm excited. We have 50 people here. Okay, so let's go with questions. Hold on. Richard says, I have news. While we were talking, I sent the Shorties for indexing. Shorties helped the destination get indexed. Patrick, did you do driving directions and hide them in the iframe? No, I did not. Did you use Share Factory for the reviews? Patrick, yes, I did. Okay, what that means is we have another group called the Share Factory. So in the Share Factory, we've got about 150, 60, 70, 80 people that are in our group. When we need a post, we put a link to our review in the Share Factory, and we ask for somebody near us to leave a review. Now, one of the things about the Share Factory is a lot of the people in our Share Factory are Google Guides. So as a Google Guide, we can review anything, anywhere, right? And so that's exactly why, we built the Share Factory, so that you can go in there and say, look, I need a review. I need a review to my Facebook. I need a like to my Facebook. I need, this. And you're getting real people with real IPs sharing and liking and doing and helping us accomplish our goals without having to fudge the system. Does that make sense? So you can go and look up the Share Factory, and if you want to get into our Skype Share Factory group, just let me know and I'll get you in there too. Use nearby. There's a good idea. Use a nearby address to get the latitude and longitude and see if it pops in the software. That's another idea for if you don't have a latitude and longitude. Please mention the RFR training Webby at 6 p.m. tonight. Okay. In an hour and a half, Madge and Terry are going to be going over the ranking factory. Which module tonight, Madge, are you going to be talking about? Madge usually does it the longhand, so anybody and everybody can come to the training and pick up some tips from Madge on how to do what we do with a software tool by hand. So if you don't have the software tool, it's cool. You can just come in and listen to them, and they will show you how to do it by longhand. Pete's asking, is it possible to have an iframe anywhere in the GMB? Well,
nope.
but that doesn't mean that you can't have an iframe for the GMB.
That's correct.
So for Pete's sake, that's kind of cute. For Pete's sake, I bet you get that all the time, right, Pete? How would you accomplish this goal? Getting an iframe for your GMB.
There's two ways you can do it. You can do like Matt showed you the other day.
While you're doing that, someone is asking, can you purchase local guide Gmail accounts? The answer is yes. I'm assuming. I know some people on here, do that for people. The best way for you to do it is to become and apply to be a local guide and begin to take photos and upload photos around you for your local businesses. Any place that you go, every single day, take a picture, upload it to that business. And every place that you do business with, at the end of the day, do a review for them. And those will get you points, and those points will build up your levels from a level 1 to a level 10. We're going to go over the GMB poster inside of RFR. Cool. So, yeah, you guys, if you're here, give me the link, Madge. Put it in the chat box. Okay, so everybody can see it for the Zoom at 6 o'clock. It's in an hour and a half. So this is perfect. They're going to go over the Ranking Factory GMB poster, which is not similar to the Mega GMB poster, but it does have pieces of it. And yeah, so that's a perfect segue into what we're doing here today. For those of you who don't have this tool or any tool, to see what Madge is going to teach you longhand today on the Ranking Factory software.
So Pete, what you can do is that you take on the business website where your post is showing, you can take a single one and copy that into your GMB poster, go to your iframes tools, put the URL in here, create the codes. You have the code over here, and you can preview the post, which comes up like this here. On there you have your iframe. If you then stuff that into your Blogger post, so if you're in the Blogger here, I've created your post, you will go from the iframe tool, I'll select this code over here, copy that, go back to my Blogger, take the edit HTML, and you post your iframe in here, and you click update HTML, and it goes into your blog post, and then you fill in here tags, title, choose the blog that you want to post it to, and just create posts. And then when the blogger gets the post and it's connected to your IFTTT network, the post will be syndicated out to the whole network.
You can, and what he just showed you how to do, you can take those steps independently without the software and go and do the same thing just by finding, an HTML. There's a lot of HTML creators out there, so just do it the same way. Okay, I'm putting the Zoom in the question and answer box, and then I'm going to go also put it up in the chat box for everybody. So there we go. That's for tonight. For address withheld GMBs, is it worth doing driving directions?
The question was that if you hide your address, is that what the question was? Mm-hmm. Where it would be worthwhile? Yes, you can anyhow create driving directions from your business to the destination. Normally we say that when you have a service business where you don't have a storefront, you come to the customers, then you will have driving directions from that GMB to the destination.
You won't have driving directions back. But here's a question. Why can't we do driving directions back to maybe, a a business near us. Would that be helpful? Or a landmark? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, right next to me is the library. Why can't I have a driving direction back kind of to me to the library?
Why should you?
Well, because it's a driving direction back to where I'm at, as opposed to just going out. That's the question.
Yeah, but Google knows where you're at anyhow.
Mm-hmm.
So if you swap this location around, so you say, okay, I'm going from this address, which is your location, to Palm Beach, Florida. Oh, that's a long way. So I'm going to. It won't let you do it here because I will have to type in my address here. Because after they made the last change, you can't do it directly here. So you will have to put in the address here. So you can do either.
See, I actually don't mind hiding my address or putting it in here to get the result. All right, let's see what Brian has to say here. I encourage to brand jack the competition. Brand jack, okay? Especially the ones that spend a lot on advertising and consumers do Google searches for. Create driving directions from their locations to yours.
To your business, yeah.
Optimize reviews to include their brand names. So if I'm in a mortgage business and I'm a mortgage broker, what you're saying is that I would want to brand BB&T Mortgage because BB&T Mortgage spends a lot of money advertising in my area. Is that what you're saying, Brian?
So what you're saying is that put in your competitor's address here toward your location. That's what you want.
Mm-hmm. No, he says consumers search Google from the competitor's advertising. Right. Okay. I got it. Stay with your own brand, but use the competitor's brand name as a keyword. Okay. Well, that's a whole new course called brand jacking. Somebody want to lead it, and I'll develop it, and we'll sell it. Should be a nice course to create. It says also comparison with competitors is a form of brand jacking, right, Micah? Okay. Any other questions about anything that you've seen so far? Any of the new things? For those of you that had never seen that last tool that we talked about, you think that can be of help to you? I will put together a link, and I do have a list of everybody that's on here, and I'll send an email hopefully out this week yet or this weekend with access to where you can download that form. Okay. Patrick says you can also map stack using high authority map sites to create maps that you then embed.
There's a lot of map sites around, so you go and create maps on those sites, and then you put it into your own website or your G site or whatever you have created, or your HTML stack which you have created.
Very good. Do me a favor. If you are in any of the GMB or the Reiki Factory rooms, go give a shout out as to whether or not the training was good today. If you liked it, if you learned anything, we appreciate that. And then give me a shout out here from 1 to 10, what you thought the training was today between 1 to 10. I want the spreadsheet. I'm going to get the spreadsheet up, guys. Don't worry about it. We'll get it someplace for everybody. I will have a recording of this for everybody. You should get a recording, but if not, let's see, in the chat, let me give you my Skype. Do not send me an email. I don't read them. Okay, there's my Skype. So just Skype me at Patrick Tuttle and 9 only because you didn't do it for me. Ha ha ha. That's all right, Micah. I'll remember. Very good, Matt. So next week, we have anything on the schedule for next week?
That will be a surprise.
Okay, I'm going to ask one last question because this is something that I'm working on right now. And I don't think that there's anybody left in this room that actually knows what we're doing. we are going to be launching in the next 30 days our own Google. We're going to call it the Online Reputation Factory, and it's our own Google review tool. It's pretty cool. It's got a lot of neat things in it that others don't. And I was just on with the developers today. It's going to be awesome because we're going to be able to offer you guys a way to generate somewhat over $800 a month just by getting businesses to use a Google review tool. Obviously, they have to pay for it, but it's very well worth the price of admission for this. And how many of you guys out there actually use review tools right now? Can you tell me? You know, like a review poster. You know, you're trying to get your businesses to send messages to their clients to do a Google review. Carolyn, don't give it away. Don't give it away. Okay. Brian, okay, which review tool do you use? Okay, good. Yep. David Sprague's, cool. Okay. We're aware of that. Rusty uses one. All right, great. Yeah, and Maury's right. You know, getting client cooperation is a bitch, and usually what happens is, you know, you ask them to do it and they forget, and you forget, and so it never gets done. So we've got a solution for that as well. But anyway, just want you to know that we're working on that, and we probably will be ready to offer that to everybody hopefully in the next 30 days. Okay? So what I would leave you guys with is this. If you've got a good idea and you know how to do it, and not very many other people are doing it, and you want it built to generate income, we will build anything for any of you. And if it's saleable, then we will also try to sell it and generate extra income for you. I think for those of you that are with us and those of you who are not, I'm going to ask one question, and I should see just one single number that you guys put up here. From 1 to 10, 10 being the best, how would you rate the development team with GMB and Ranking Factory? I see somebody I'm kicking out right now. Exactly, guys. Right? I mean, Chris is the bomb. Chris is the bomb, right? He's on top of things. He's getting it done. When you guys have a problem, you don't have to worry that it's going to be a problem for long because he fixes it. So, you know, that kind of goes back to what I said. If you have a product that you want to develop, but you don't have a developer, you let us know. We'll work with you. We'll get it built and we'll get it sold, and you'll make some money. Is that fair enough? All right, Rusty, you're so cute. He gave Chris a 9 because he says you only said post one number, and 10 is 2 numbers. You're awesome, buddy. I love you. All right, guys, we're going to say goodbye, and we will see you next week, okay? But if you have an opportunity of something, hit me up, and we will try to build it and make you some extra money. Have a great weekend, guys. Thanks, okay. Henrik. You did a great job.